With Phase 4 of the MCU right around the corner, we're going to see many familiar faces, but we will also be introduced to many new heroes as well. With new heroes making their appearances on the big screen, it also means they will come with new sets of abilities and superpowers. But as we might know by now, not all the superpowers from the comics are shown in the MCU. Here are a few superpowers MCU heroes have but have never used.
What?
Before Scarlet Witch met her end at the literal hand of Thanos, she made it known to all that she is one of the most powerful characters in the MCU. She has the ability to fly, control minds, show people their worst fears, manipulate body parts, and not to mention her blasts of bright red energy she shoots at her enemies. In the comics, however, these powers only begin to scratch the surface of her seemingly limitless powers. The comic version of Wanda Maximoff can magically alter reality itself, in a very similar way that the Reality Stone can. In the comics, she completely wiped the mutants with only 3 words: no more mutants, dropping the number of mutants in the world from the millions to a few hundred. Now, if she only used this during her fight with Thanos and his army during Infinity War, the MCU would be in much simpler times, but that wouldn't make for much of a story now, would it? When it was revealed that Ant-Man would join the Avengers to face off against Thanos and finally take him down and restore life to the universe, we all thought at some point that Ant-Man could single-handedly take down the almighty Thanos in a split second by simply just crawling into his ear and expanding back to his regular size in a glorious universe-saving fashion.
Feels kind of weird, you know?
Believe it or not, this is an actual possibility and something that Ant-Man can do. Of course, heroes don't usually take the route of instant decapitations or exploding their enemies into a million pieces, so it's definitely a method Ant-Man would never use, but hey, at least we know he has it in his back pocket.
I ruined the moment, didn't I?
Yes, you did, yes.
I'm gonna make some tea.
Our favorite web-slinger has many superpowers at his disposal. Aside from the iconic web-slinging, spider senses, and wall climbing, he has another interesting superpower that comes out during intense moments of stress, coming in the form of razor-sharp stingers. Located in Peter Parker's arms, the bone-like stingers that release from his wrist are coated in a venom that causes temporary paralysis and, in the worst scenarios, death. Oddly enough, Spider-Man has no control over the deployment of the stingers. They seem to only come out when he finds himself in extreme danger, acting like a last resort defense mechanism. Needless to say, this might never make it into the MCU, but it's for sure that Peter Parker would give Wolverine a run for his money.
Go f yourself.
As an android, Vision's technopathic abilities can be extremely valuable. He can instantly decode and understand all technology he comes in contact with. This comes in handy due to the vast amount of tech that is within the Marvel Universe, both on Earth and in space. In a world heavily built and reliant on technology, the ability to hack and control any tech is not just a handy ability to have, but it might be the most dynamic superpower at his disposal, and could be quite dangerous if he ever turns against the Avengers team. Safe to say, it's very fortunate that he didn't follow the path of being designed by Ultron to get rid of the Avengers and change the world to his image, instead stating that he is on the side of life.
So there may be no way to make you trust me, but we need to go.
From sacrificing himself for the Guardians of the Galaxy, taking all of our hearts as Baby Groot, and giving his arm for Thor's Stormbreaker, Groot always brings a smile to our faces no matter where he may appear in the MCU. With his powers being really straightforward, super strength, the power to grow and extend his branch-like limbs, and self-regeneration, Groot also has the ability to control other trees and plants, meaning he could have created a large army of killer trees to help take on Thanos' army during the fight of Wakanda. With Guardians of the Galaxy 3 in the works, we hope to see the full extent of his powers showcased in future installments. With Black Widow completing her major role in the MCU with Avengers Endgame, she won over the hearts of many each time she appeared on screen. Being highly trained in hand-to-hand combat, she's not really known to have any crazy superpowers, but like her male counterpart Captain America, Natasha Romanoff has also proved herself worthy to wield Mjolnir. In an alternate universe, the Black Widow has briefly held the iconic weapon. As we all know, Natasha turned down her opportunity at lifting Mjolnir in the film because it was a question she didn't need answers to. And with her death in Endgame and her standalone film taking place in the gap between Captain America's Civil War and Avengers Infinity War, we probably will never see Natasha wielding the almighty Mjolnir in the MCU. And with Natalie Portman picking up the role as the God of Thunder in Thor: Love and Thunder, we as Marvel fans can't say we're disappointed.
I like this one.
Which MCU superheroes are your favorite? Let us know in the comments section below. And be sure to like and subscribe for more of your favorite movie content here on Cinemash.